It is the worst when you misplace something. I hate it. His Morning Crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
What'd you misplace?
A car.
I mean, you lost it in the parking lot?
No, like I lost it.
Okay.
No.
That's so mysterious to me.
It is
but
so, I hate when you misplace your car in a parking lot. I do hate that. And
Yeah.
then you're searching around like, where did I park? I don't
It's
want anybody
horrible.
to know.
It's horrible. You know what I heard? There's this lake in Canada. Linda just came back from Canada. That was her honeymoon. She's our producer. I wonder if this was big news in Canada, because this happened around the time that you were there, Ninja.
I didn't really watch the news in Canada.
Oh, yeah. She was around.
She was exploring, spelunking.
Yeah. There was a lot of snow in Canada when she was there.
Yeah.
So there's this lake in Canada, and in this lake, they found a bunch of old cars from the 70s in the lake. So they just pulled them all out.
Why were there so many in one lake?
I have no idea, and neither do they. They're just trying to figure it out. There's 7 cars altogether, and they range from being a luxury car to a compact car from the 70s. It's crazy.
I can't wrap my brain around like how this has to be the same person that every time they went through a car, they just like.
Well, I don't know, because they're all the mid to late 70s. Every single one of the cars, all 7 of them. From an AMC Pacer. I remember those things.
I don't remember a
They're
Pacer.
in, yeah,
Is that
the
little?
Ford Cortina. Okay. The car, I always sound like I said tortilla. Yeah. There's a Chevrolet, a Plymouth GTX, a Buick Riviera, Carvel. There's another Chrysler Cordoba from the late 70s. It was white.
I just don't get it. Like, why just roll your car?
Well, they're
sell it.
They're trying to pull the VINs and see if they can find who the owners were or owner of these cars.
Do you think they'd be in trouble?
And they don't think foul play.
No,
and
but
they
I
might
mean-
be in some kind of trouble because they're dumped in a lake.
Right. It's bad for the environment. Hello.
Right? And how long they've been there.
Yeah, because they're not in mint condition anymore.
No, but they don't look, I mean, water really rusts and corrodes, and they don't look like they're in horrible shape.
Like
I don't know, because it's Canada, I don't know if freezing the water and, you know.
Oh, preserve
during
it a little more?
Yeah, it could. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I couldn't tell you that. But, I mean, they're really old cars, so they're trying to figure all of that out.
Maybe somebody can take ownership, refurbish them, sell them, make them like new again. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. I'm glad they found them.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Hey, Jasmine, you said something happened to your car when you're looking for it in the parking lot. What happened?
I actually came out of the grocery store and went up to what I thought was my van, and I wondered why I had all this stuff in the back and the windows were down, but it wasn't my van, and I was so embarrassed.
I so did that one time.
You tried to get in
thought it
something-
was my car. I'm like, why isn't this working? And then I tried the key. You know how you can have a key?
Oh, no,
The
yeah.
fob and then the key. And I'm like, just what's going on? I looked in the back. That's not my stuff. That's not my car.
Why is there a baby seat in there?
I'm so with you, Jasmine. I did that myself.
Oh, Linda sent us a text and said, once I went into a store in New Jersey, I couldn't find my car when I left. The car was at a completely different entrance. I really did think it was stolen.
Oh, no.
I have had that feeling where you come out and you're like, I know exactly where I parked and my car is not there. Somebody has taken my
The
car.
police come.
And then you're like, oh.
Wait a minute.
I think that's
It's
it over
at
there.
the other
Hi.
entrance.
Thank you.
I understand our producer, Ninja. What, you did this in Canada on your honeymoon a couple of weeks ago?
Well, it was right before we left for Canada, and we went and got breakfast and parked in a parking garage with the layers. And we came back, couldn't find the car, so we hit the button for the alarm to go off, and we could hear it, but we were going back and forth to either side because we're like, we hear it. Wait, no, it's over on this side. Wait, it's on this side.
Different level, huh?
Yeah, it ended up being above us.
Was there ever a little bit of an argument? I know where I parked. No, I don't think so.
There was a little bit. I was like, this is our first test, so we gotta pass it.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
It's been interesting hearing what's happened to the car when you misplaced it and parked it where you thought you did. It wasn't there. Stolen, whatever. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Kara said, she texted, I've been frantically looking for my vehicle before realizing after quite a while, I'd actually driven a different car. to the store.
Wait a minute.
Like she may have taken her husband's vehicle.
Oh, I get it. All right.
She walks out looking for, the
Where
red
is
Honda.
my car? Oh, no. I drove his car. I get that. Drove the kid's car.
Right.
I can see that. Fledge is with us at 800-447-7234. We've heard from Fledge before. He owns a safari business.
So cool.
Overseas, does safaris. Okay, so something happened to your car. What happened?
My car was stolen and I knew exactly who did it. My guests were on safari with myself and my tracker, and we got off the vehicle to go track an animal, and they decided it would be fun if they started the game drive vehicle and drive off with it.
So you're left out in the bush.
Yeah, we were pretty mad because what happens if they came across an elephant? I mean, they didn't drive it far, but I remember just like, what is that sound? That's my vehicle. And then
They've been watching Lion King a little too much. They don't all act like that and sing songs out in the bush. They actually can hurt you.
I mean, we chuckled about it, but I was slightly mad at them, you could imagine. But it was all in good fun. It's not like they drove it around the reserve for hours and hours and hours.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Jack and Sam were friends when they were teenagers, and it was a very tight, close relationship. They learned to lean on each other. They were actually both in a concentration, labor camp during World War II, and they both survived the Holocaust. But neither one of them knew each other got out. So what happened, Jack, he was able to run away and escape through the forest from the labor camp. Sam was actually moved to a different labor camp and eventually was liberated. So they, spent the next 70 or so years, however many years it was, and did not know that their friend had survived. You know that they both immigrated to the United States. They both ended up being in Ohio, and they lived there for 40 years. Who knows how close to each other? Did not know each other survived again until they went to a Holocaust survivors memorial a couple weeks ago in Florida, and they saw each other across the room. I don't know how they recognized each other after all of those years, or maybe it was on a name badge and they saw each other, and the reunion was so sweet. Just broke down in tears.
Sam, one of the two, was a guest speaker. And so that's when he said, wait a minute, I know that guy. I was with him back at, wow.
Can you imagine?
Go think. And then both living in Ohio.
I mean, for 40 or some odd years, who knows? And I know Ohio's kind of a big state, but at the same time, to come from where you did during the Holocaust, both survive, end up in the same state.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were just teenagers back then.
And then end up at the same dinner in Florida.
And one of them is speaking.
What?
At this thing. Oh, how amazing.
What great closure they got. And also because of the success of not only just getting out, but their families, and they've been successful businessmen, how they've overcome what they thought originally was going to be their destiny.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If I understand correctly, this is going to be a story from Liz that's going to actually move you.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you hear Jake? Jake's one of our producers. He said what? What'd you say, Jake?
Wow.
Wow.
Just wow.
It'll move you.
Oh, my goodness.
It will.
Okay, so Dan's a pretty cool guy. He takes care of cows on a dairy farm.
Pretty moving.
Yeah. And he is on TikTok, which you'll see. I don't think you've seen a lot of farmers on TikTok, but I like him. He is Dairy Farmer Dan, and he was explaining what cows eat, because dairy farm, you got to feed them the right thing so they produce the best milk, right? So he said cows really like consistency, and so they get their grains, they get their hay, they get their, all the stuff that I think you and I think they're going to eat. He said, but they do need a little sugar in their diet, and so to achieve that, it's not like they're throwing out sugar granules for them to eat with all the other stuff. They give them Skittles.
Skittles?
Skittles.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Oh!
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Skittles, huh?
Skittles. I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
Like, do all dairy farmers feed them the same
Of course
thing?
not. What kind of question is that? No, not all dairy farmers give their cows Skittles.
Okay, so then what do they give them? Bullseyes? Do they give them, like,
No,
Starburst?
None of the above.
What do they, then how do they get
That's
the sugar?
cheesy. I mean, come on. Yeah. You're milking this for all it's worth.
Oh my God, we're out. We're done.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I can just imagine her anticipation, her nervousness. She's in her car. She's on her way to this appointment. She's like, I've got to make an impression, and the car breaks down. She's minutes away where she needs to go. It's a job interview. Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. Can you imagine?
I can't.
I mean, here you are. It's just like, I need this job. I got to have this job, and I'm moments away. She's dressed. She's ready to impress. I mean, this is the thing. And she even calls AAA, and she's like,
They're not going to get here.
Get here in time. It's going to be 45 minutes. I can't do this thing. And then blue lights show up as she's on the side of the road.
Of course they did. So they were just checking on her. The officer that stopped, just checking to make sure everything was cool, kind of a move along kind of thing. And then realized where she wanted to go. Like she was on her way to this job interview. So she said, okay, hopefully we'll call somebody. They'll come out. They'll tow you. As the officer is walking away, the woman says, hey, could you take me to my job interview? The officer said, sure, jump in the car, but you got to ride in the back. You okay with that?
Here are the cuffs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, didn't go that far. Didn't go
No.
that far. Brought her to the job interview, brought her into the job interview, and even said, okay, here's this person. And they will do anything the way that she wanted to get to this job. This is the type of person you want to work for you. Here she is, an advocate now.
I know, personal endorsement right there from the police officer.
so
but
great.
I can imagine the interviewers thinking, oh, okay, where's my, possible interview that's going to be coming in? Oh, she's coming in with an officer.
Yeah.
This can't be good.
This doesn't look good at all.
Oh.
She did get the job.
Yay!
Isn't that great?
Ended up crying. Like she went on social media and she's like, y'all, I broke down. She said, because somebody just being that nice and taking some time, out of her day to bring me to my job interview. The officer even put out a notice to the other officers, said, don't tow the car. Like, I know where this person is. She'll be right back.
You're
She's
right.
at a job interview.
Yeah.
Give her an hour.
If AAA shows up, let them fix the car.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
This one guy who's like telling his boss, listen, I don't want a birthday party. Please don't. I'm going to get anxious. It's going to stress me out. I don't want a birthday party. Just leave it alone. They throw him a birthday party anyway. You probably saw this, how anxious he got and anxiety. Even went out to his car and it's like, I can't handle this. I can't be the center of attention. It's a thing. It's really a thing. He's got all this anxiety. He winds up getting fired over that.
Right. He did. And he was like, wait a minute now. I told you. I told you up front that having this birthday party, even if it's just going to the break room and singing happy birthday and giving me a cake, like I can't handle that type of thing. But in letting him go, they said, here's what you're doing. You stole your coworker's joy. And then they were saying some other derogatory things to him. And he was like, you let me go over this?
Yeah, over the birthday party. So you probably, at the end of the story, he wound up suing them, and then he got like $450,000 over that.
But I am somebody, I don't mind the center of attention. Do you like the center of attention, Rob?
No, but I like being appreciated.
Oh, sure.
That's pretty cool, but I'm like, you don't put me in the center of it all. Please do not.
All three of my children are fairly shy, and I had to come to know that in my life. I don't understand shyness personally myself, but I had to have compassion for them that it kind of does the same thing. When all eyes are turned towards some people, that is just too much to handle.
Well, it made me think myself because I have a couple of friends, and there's one that's like, Date, listen, I don't want a birthday party. Seriously, I don't want one. And I'm thinking, oh, they're just being humble.
Right.
They want to throw one anyway.
And they didn't do it out of meanness. They did it to...
It's like, no, seriously, I get anxious. I don't need this. Please don't do this. So I'm thinking through this now. It's like, okay, if they really don't want one, and it's hard to think that,
Yeah, who doesn't want somebody to sing happy birthday?
How some people will say, you may have run into this. They'll say one thing but mean another thing, and then when the birthday comes around, it's like nobody remembered me on my birthday.
Right.
And yet they said, I don't want to party. Please don't do anything for me, kind of a thing.
But if somebody's
So that's
that
tough.
adamant that, look, it's going to cause me to have, some nervousness, some anxiety, please don't.
That's still tough. I
It
think.
is.
I'm not talking about the situation at this workplace. I'm just
No.
talking about people that I know.
Yeah.
Now.
Hard to navigate, but if you have a
Right?
real conversation and get to the root of it, maybe that will help. That's what I had to do. I'm telling you, with my kids, and Rob, you've had to do that with your friends.
Well,
but
you have to ask more questions, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like,
Get a little
why
more.
don't you really want one?
yeah, and then they might go, well, it'd be okay.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Here's a dude that has a lot of time on his hands. Seriously, I think so. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Time and money. This kid put down $3,400 to do something for hours and hours on end. His name is Ramiro. Ramiro likes movies, and evidently he likes Marvel movies. He saw Avengers Endgame like 100 and some odd times. Okay, he thought nobody's ever going to break my record. Somebody did. They watched another movie for 200 something times. He said, "Okay, new Spider-Man's out. I'm going to go to the movies." He saw it 292 times.
Almost 300 times.
$3,400 is what he spent on tickets. Then you factor in the popcorn, the drink, the candy. Did he take somebody with him? Did he go by himself? Did he sit there for hours on end, or was this 292 different times? Like, wow.
If I understand this correctly, he wasn't allowed to leave the theater, period. He had to stay in there, which means don't drink a lot before you go into the theater, or you're going to be dancing through the whole movie. The potty dance,
And the employees had to stay too, right? I mean, if they couldn't close down the theater, and I guess there are some probably 24-hour theaters around the world, but he's hoping no one ever breaks his record again. He does not. He's done. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
That's a lot of time on somebody's hand to see a movie that much.
It's a good movie.
I mean, I watched Rocky a lot of times. I don't
How
think
many?
it even, I don't know. I don't think it totals 292 times. It might. I mean, it's been out forever.
I would say I've seen Star Wars A New Hope over 200 times.
Possible.
I would say. Just in my life.
Well, it came out in the 70s, so of course.
Right, but I mean, you just watch it. I remember when I was a teenager just watching it. Oh, nonstop. My sister would make fun of me for watching it so much.
Why? Why is it that?
Why was it Star Wars?
Yeah.
It was just that, I don't know. I was always intrigued by space, and just, Yoda was quite a draw.
No connection to like your sister, family,
Nothing.
old boyfriend?
No, my oldest son now is named Luke, and it certainly came from Luke Skywalker and Luke in the Bible.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah,
and she's got twin grandbabies on the way, and if I understand correctly, one's going to be named Yoda.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I don't know the tallest person that you know, but there's a whole family that's really tall. The average height of this family is like 6 feet 8 inches.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, every person in the family. So you've got mom and dad. That is Scott and Christina. And then they have 3 kids, Savannah, Molly, and Adam. Average height, again, is 6 feet 8 inches. The tallest is Adam, one of the sons.
Mm-hmm.
He's 7 feet 3 inches. Christina is the mom. She's the shortest of the whole group at about 6'3".
The mom is 6'3"?
Yeah, mom's 6'3".
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, and all 3 kids either play basketball or volleyball.
Makes sense. Makes
They are
total sense.
very athletic.
Wow.
Yeah. Thin as rails. And because they are so tall, they're now in the record book now. Guinness has them in the record book for being the tallest family
In the world?
in the world. I think pretty literally in the universe.
And that's that mom is 6'3" and dad's got to be, over 6 feet as well. What'd you 6'8"?
The average
or something like
height
that?
is 6'8".
So, wow. Like both sides of our family are fairly average height, maybe even coming in under that. 'Cause-
I'm 5'11".
Which that's high. That's taller than average. If I'm not.
That's taller than average?
Listen, if
Why
I'm-
do I feel short around a lot of people then?
Well, now I will say there's a few tall people that, work here in your circle. My oldest son is 6'4". That is not the norm. My husband's like you, 5'11". I'm 5'3" on a good day with heels. So I don't know. Wow.
You know what's interesting to me? That I don't notice people for their height. When I'm standing there, I don't notice it until it's pictures. And I don't know why that is.
Because you're 5'11". Because you're taller than the average, you probably don't notice it as much. I notice it all the time.
I don't notice tall. I don't notice what people would say is short. I just notice people. And then I notice, I go, oh, wow, they're tall if I'm in a picture with them. I don't know why that is.
I think it's
That's
because
interesting.
you're kind of in that a little better than average height.
I don't know.
And so, but me being, way down here, if I'm taller, like I will stand next to Ninja every time I get a chance.
One of our producers.
I'm just a little bit taller than Ninja. And so I like feeling like, hi, I'm the tallest person in the room. So I stand next to her a lot.
Sorry, Ninja.
I'm used to it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
My daddy always had this hobby that he wanted to get me involved in. And I was like, Dad, that is so boring.
What is it?
Coin collecting.
Oh.
His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
I wonder if he ever had a 1932 quarter.
I don't know.
He might have.
He may haven't. I think those coins are still around somewhere. So I gotta go
Well,
look.
from what I understand, his coins?
Yeah.
Yeah, you better go look. There was one that just sold. Take a wild guess. 1932 quarter.
$150.
Well, it started out for like $1.
Oh, okay. Not bad.
Yeah, but it's pretty rare piece of coin. It went way past $1,000.
What?
24 bids and it sold for $1,488.
For a 25-cent quarter.
Yeah, evidently they came out in 1932, and there was just a little over 400,000 that were minted or made.
Yeah. Wow.
And so they're very, very, very rare.
The fewer you make, the higher the value, I suppose. So.
And if I read this correctly, that was the year that the quarter actually came out with Washington on it. 25 cents.
That's wild.
So no wonder why there wasn't that many made.
Well, true. They were like, well, let's just see if it works. Let's see if people use it.
Well, yeah.
I guess.
Kind of, right?
So what about the ones that came out, I don't even know, I feel like it was the 90s or early 2000s that started having all the states?
You're asking me?
I'm just,
Don't ask me.
hypothetical. I don't know.
I don't know.
But like, are those eventually going to be, if I found one from Alaska, is that eventually going to be worth some money?
Is it North Carolina that was printed wrong?
Now,
And then they had to fix it? I'm kind of thinking it was the whole Kitty Hawk thing.
was it backward or upside down?
I don't know.
It was Orville Redenbacher instead of
What?
Orville Wright on the thing?
I don't think it was that bad.
Okay.
And I might be mixing it up with a license plate and a quarter. All this stuff is just fishing around in my head.
Sometimes we've got that useless trivia that's just in the brain and it comes
Right.
out sometimes like, that's not what that was.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, I was reading this. I'm like, okay, I know staying hydrated is important. You have to. I feel like I don't drink enough water, but I drink a lot of water, I've got water sitting by me now, but I'm going for my coffee more than my water. You know what I mean?
Oh, I get that 100%.
Boy, I drink way too much coffee. But I read it will help with the sodium level in the bloodstream. It may reduce the risk of heart failure by just drinking water.
Well, it makes sense. It's flushing out the sodium that's in your body. So the more water you get in, you can move that stuff along a little faster.
I'm gonna drink
right?
some right now.
I know. And I have to admit something. I hate water.
Really?
Oh my God.
Why?
I don't know.
There's
if
no
it's-
taste? Is that it?
I guess I'm a big one to add like Crystal Light and these little flavor packets.
She does
and
do
things.
that. I noticed she does do that.
And it's so, and I'm terrible. I try to drink as much as possible. And they say the
Water.
older, I know, yes, drink water. They say the older that you get, and I didn't realize this, that your thirst mechanism, I guess, doesn't kick in as often.
I can get that.
So you may be thirsty, but your body is not telling you you're as thirsty. And so as you get older, you stop drinking more.
I thought I wouldn't like water when I started drinking water. My only thing I do is coffee. I don't do soda. I'll have an unsweet tea.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but I'll have an unsweet tea, maybe once or twice a month. if the family goes out somewhere.
Wow.
But mainly it's water and coffee for me. And I like water. I didn't think I'd like it when I dropped the soda and the sweeteners and all that other stuff.
Well, once I make myself drink water, then you start to crave it a little more, and it does taste better. So it's just that whole getting on the water
Quenches
train.
the thirst. But I had no idea. It helps for people who, the whole heart failure thing. And it flushes out the system. I get that.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
It's a His Radio block party. The party is coming to you. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on His Radio.
Yeah, it's going to include the food, the music. We're, of course, going to have some fun games like inflatables that you and your family can just jump on. The kids get worn out, go to bed early that
Trying
night.
to convince Mama Liz to bring the karaoke machine because she has one. You have one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has one. So who knows? Maybe a little karaoke if you're into that.
Who's not?
I'm not. So,
Oh, come on.
seriously, I could
You would
care
be.
less about
Oh, my
karaoke.
goodness.
I'm not going to be a fool of myself in front of all these people.
So Lisa just texted and said, I would invite my neighbors, my children's ministry. Those kids would absolutely go wild.
I love that.
And have a blast.
Well, some of the people that are registering online at hisradio.com or on the My His Radio app, you can even text the word party. We'll send you a link directly, party, to 800-447-7234. But I've been seeing Sunday school or small group, my neighbors, on who people would invite to the
kids,
party that's coming to them.
Right, the kids' classroom, the kids in the cul-de-sac. But that's a good thing about it is maybe you don't live in a cul-de-sac. Maybe you don't live in a neighborhood and you need to do this at your church's parking lot or the community pool, or that can happen.
And I don't know if we mentioned this, but every Friday throughout spring, giving away a grill, either gassed or charcoal. Either way you want it, we'll deliver it that way to you. So you get a grill every week, and then one Blark Party. Is Blark Party?
Blark Party.
Is going to be given away. Just go to hisradio.com. You'll get signed up to win. Text the word party to 800-447-7234 or on the My His Radio app.